shadows, I'll be like, God told me I wasn't supposed to play clarinet. And I'll change saxophone. Like I said, my planet's gonna explode on through a different file. I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
With shadows, I'll be like, God told me I wasn't supposed to play clarinet. And I'll change saxophone. Like I said, my planet's gonna explode on through a different file. I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off. Anyway, I won't know.
Like I said, my planet's gonna explode on through a different file. I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
Dude, my iPad's just gonna like shut off.
on stage. Rob Patterson.
I know, I'm like, let me do a quick little command of world's greatest hope.
little bits and fragments of different pieces that she's put together and turned it into what she calls a sizzle reel, which she says she sort of imagined like Benny Goodman sitting backstage, kind of just warming up and riffing on all the major clarinet repertoire. So if you play the clarinet, you're going to recognize a lot of the things that you've heard and hopefully played before. If not, I think it's a very fun piece, regardless if you catch it. She says she sort of imagined like Benny Goodman, but if you do play it backstage, see how many different pieces you count, and you'll see at the end if you got it. So, for your rec talking, we'll start with the Reza, the prayer, and then we play the If not, I think it's a very fun piece, regardless if you catch it. She says she sort of imagined like Benny Goodman, but if you do play it backstage, see how many different pieces you count, and
That's Igor Stravinsky's 3 pieces for solo clarinet.
That's great. Fantastic. And we didn't plan this, but did you recognize some of that in the piece I played right before this? There was a lot of Stravinsky quotes from what he just played in the second piece I played.
I was at the ball in the audience. That was so fun.
Yeah.
That was so fun. I was like, oh, there it goes right there.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Did you count how many composers you heard or different pieces?
From the ones that I've played, I would say maybe 3 or 4.
Which ones did you hear?
I mean, I think I heard the Rigoletto in there. I might have heard the Rigoletto.
Maybe
There was
you
some
heard something like
Poulenc.
Poulenc, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, from Copeland. Yeah. Cool. This is really, really good. It's very virtuosic. You seem very secure, especially in that second movement. Can be a little scary to play in front of people, but you seemed totally in control. It's really impressive. Since you're on B flat, let's work backwards. So, were you nervous?
Not really.
Okay, good. So, in this third movement, do you know how many different articulations he uses?
There's a lot. I'll say that.
Which ones?
Well,
What do we have? We have
you have your staccato.
staccato,
You have your marcatos. once in a
Marcato.
while. You have your typical accents.
accents.
If you want to even count, I don't even know the break, the rests, like a second. It's like a different type of when you re-articulate going back in.
Okay. And we also have slurs,
Yes.
overts, dots, right? So we have 4 different articulations plus regular slurs. So I think this piece really comes alive when we hear distinct differences between all of those. So I'm wondering if we could spend a little bit of time maybe going just a little bit slower and trying to exaggerate the difference. So let's find a good spot. How about, is that too mean to make you start here? Is that okay?
No, it's
Bit up,
fine.
bit up, bit up, bit up, bit up. Let's try a few bars from here. Okay, good. So can you play this A flat accent? So this is an accent. This is his accent. Okay, so what is an accent? How do you define it? How is an accent different than just a loud note? Or is it just a loud note?
Well, I'd say an accent, it depends a lot on the context.
Sure.
Maybe I'm not providing enough context when performing this, but for me, an accent, it needs to be different than the rest of the notes, whether it be loud or soft. It needs to be something that someone in the audience can hear that. Oh,
Totally.
that is accented. There is something there.
And how will they know it's an accent? Is there a certain shape to the note?
Well, I call it like, maybe that note that I played there wasn't totally demonstrating of that, but I try to shoot for like a bell tone, but like a stronger, like a dong, like a lot more resonant. If
So a
that
lot
could
of
provide
front
any
on the
context.
note.
Yes.
And maybe, it's interesting, accents look a little bit like diminuendos, which I don't know if everybody in here is a musician, needs to get softer. So I think what defines an accent differently than just a loud note is that there's a little bit of release in it. Ba, ba, you said bell tone. It's like in this case, quick bell tone. Okay, so could you play that A flat one more time and really focus on releasing it? Even faster. Ba, ba. That's good. And what do we use in our body to create that accent?
Well, I use my air support.
That's the right answer. The right answer. I'm wondering if you can even do more air and less tongue. So something like, and I want you to try this without the clarinet, something like, so even faster at the front and a little bit of delay. Yeah. Can you play the A flat again? Yeah. So now, can you start here? Ba 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 da ba da. Good. Yeah. So right here, interesting that you're grooving. Here, there's no accent. So it becomes really important, yes, to do the accents, but also where there aren't accents. So this should be, I just lost it. Da 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 da. Make sure you're not going da 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 da, adding too many accents. Because we want this, Stravinsky was inspired by the beginnings of jazz. This is not jazz, but it's jazz inspired. So I think he's really interested in a lot of buoyancy and these sort of almost jazzy rhythms. So can we go just a little bit slower? Let's go from the sombre le son subito, which means what?
Not as much. I'm not entirely sure.
It means cover the sound suddenly.
Cover the sound suddenly.
Yeah. So always make sure you're looking up all the words on your page because it could tell you something pretty important. So right here, what do you think cover the sound suddenly means to you as a performer?
Maybe dip in volume.
Yeah.
I would suggest sort of like less projection.
Yeah, so maybe you pull back a little bit and maybe there's like this sense of like a little bit of cover in the sound because you're kind of grooving along and it's like out of the blue, like he crescendos before. Ba-da-ba-da. Like my point in bringing all this up is that contrast and difference is what captures our ear and our imagination. Like if you watch really old movies, like when they first started making movies, it was like one camera and it just kind of followed the people. Now you turn on Netflix or HBO or whatever, it's like camera angle, camera angle, camera angle, camera angle, because that's what it takes to get us to like put down our phones and watch the TV, right? So we need to create lots of variety, and he puts a lot in here. Like it's incredible the detail he put in. So I think that it's really good to practice this one slowly a lot. Another little trick is, have you ever practiced this without the sound? So something like,
I have not done that.
well, let's try it. We could go to the beginning. All right.
I'll just not.
Groovy. Now, I'm wondering, when you're doing it, I hear a lot of tongue. Do you guys hear that? That tongue noise? And what I'd love to hear is more air. You hear the air going through the clarinet? Air is tone, air is sound. So I want you to have more sound and less tongue. Because these fine people are coming to your performance to hear your beautiful clarinet sound, not your tongue. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So could you try it one more time and make sure that the articulation is on the wind. You always have air in front of your tongue. Hear how much air is going through? Okay, enough talk. You try. Yeah, now play it for real with the same air. Yeah, you guys hear a difference?
Yeah. Lots.
The people love it. The people have spoken. They are pro-tone. That's great. Now, the other thing that he gives you in here, I'm going to leave you alone about articulation. You can go home and percolate about that. But the other thing that he gives you in here is almost every measure changes meter, right? It's crazy. He's in 2/4, he's in 5/16, 3/8, 3/16, 2/8. Every measure, boom, 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 something different. And so I'm wondering if you can get a little bit more of a sense of that change. Like he starts off pretty straightforward in 2/4. You know, so I think that's how he creates this sort of awkward Stravinskyan dance.
Okay.
So let's slow down the tempo, keep the air, and see if you can play around with the meter changes a little bit. So something like something like that.
Sure.
with my dancing, but I'm trying to show you there's this sense of suspension in a lot of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And so that's what I want you to find. Okay, so I'll leave you alone about that. I am wondering, on the topic of air, if maybe you could get a little bit more.
Okay.
And what I have in mind for you is when you breathe, if you can imagine that you're sending your air back here.
Okay.
Okay? So that you're filling, it's like filling a vase. You pour water in, it fills from the bottom up to the top. So you really gotta make it feel like your air's going all the way down here. That's not anatomically correct, but that's sort of what it feels like. So I want you to imagine that this part here is expanding when you breathe. You get sort of a three-dimensional breath all the way around.
Sure thing.
Can you try that for me?
You mean breathing and applying it? That?
Let's start with the breath. Can you turn sideways for me?
Yes.
Great, great. So the shoulders will naturally rise just a little bit, but they are not what creates the breath. So you don't need to lead with your shoulders at all. Because actually your lungs go above your collarbone, just a little bit. So if you're going like this, what does that do?
Just kind of pinch them off a little bit there.
Totally. So you're losing, 5%, 3%. Not a lot, but it's important. So try one more breath. Really try and breathe outwards, but especially in the back. Yeah, that's better. I'll show you guys something. So here's what I want you to do. I'll do it first. You're going to put your hands on your back, right here.
Yes.
You'll sit in the chair. You'll take a breath. Your hands move, maybe, maybe not. Then you're going to leave your hands and you're going to bend over like this. And you're going to take a breath. You'll probably feel a lot of movement there. Then you're going to try and sit up and have the same feeling. So this is your reference point. When we're practicing learning new things, we always want a reference point. Something where we know it works and we compare against it. So let me hold that for you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a seat. It's the hot seat.
So you're saying
A
feel
little lower, a little lower. That's great. Take a deep breath, see if you feel anything.
I mean, I feel it.
A little bit, yeah. Now keep them there, but bend over. Drop your head. Okay, now take a deep breath.
Yeah,
Can you feel that? That's a little different, right? Now keep your hands there, but sit back up. And try and take a breath that matches the breath you just did.
Yeah.
Does that feel closer?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you back the clarinet. Try and remember that feeling and start the Stravinsky one more time. Yeah, how's that feel?
Better.
A little different?
Just overall more availability for air
Uh-huh.
in that sense.
Do you feel like the sound changed at all? Or no?
I think I was putting a little bit more air in
Mhm.
as I've loosened up, become a little bit more calm up here, but that also could have been the breathing too. The
Yeah.
combination of that, I am getting more air in. I think I'm pushing a little bit more through the air.
Yeah. To me, it sounded like a little bit more cushiony, a little bit bigger sound without working any harder. You want the air to do the work.
Yes.
It's like back when they had the yellow pages. It's like a phone book. They always had this expression, let your fingers do the walking. So you gotta let your air do the work, Okay, one more thing. I think that getting your tongue a little bit higher in your mouth is gonna make your life a lot easier. Can you try saying the vowel U? Yes, it's very French. It's like E-U.
Ooh.
Not ooh. Ooh is lower.
Yeah.
It's like E and U. Ooh.
Ooh.
That's perfect. Can you keep your tongue in that spot and try this one more time?
the tone is a little bit more refined, and I think more is being pushed out to the audience. I mean, I can't tell that much of a difference here. It might sound a lot more different out there, but
Could we actually switch clarinets and try the opening of the first movement?
sure thing.
Is that the 5-minute warning? So could you say one more time? Yep. Try and hold on to that and play the opening here. Is your tongue in the ear position?
Trying.
Okay.
I'll push a little bit. I'll try a little bit harder.
Say it one more time before you start. It's too low. You're saying EWW.
Okay.
Like it gets into your nasal cavity a bit. Yeah. You gotta be a little snootier. Not Not You had it. You've had it. Don't overthink it. Okay, try it. Okay, great. Just because of time, can I take a quick look at this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to try a little experiment. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing.
Okay.
And let's see if it works a little better for you. Okay, we're going to take an audience poll if this is better or not.
Didn't look too hard, so let's see.
So what do we think?
I think it sounded better, but part of me can't tell if it's like placebo or not. But I do think it played. It was
had the
smoother.
touch.
Yes, it did. It was a little bit easier to flow through notes, and I think it's a little bit easier to blow through.
Okay.
If I could describe that.
All I did was I moved the reed down a little bit because I'm trying to find, it's a little bit airy, and I'm trying to find a little bit more focus for you, a little bit more resonance. And so sometimes you have your reed pretty high, which makes the reed feel just a little bit harder. So I wondered if moving it lower might help get a clearer sound.
Okay.
I have one more little trick I can try.
Magic. Bad.
It's throwing money at me. No, I'm kidding. I learned this from my teacher, Don Montanaro, and this is really, really helpful. So when you have a spitty reed, kind of like I did, unfortunately, you can take your health insurance card. Sometimes this is where it does its best work. You put it gently behind the reed, and then ever so gently scrape the back. Do you see how it got off? Well, the light's kind of hard, but
Now I see. Yes.
try it again. Let's see if that's a little clearer. Okay, like maybe 3%. Not life-changing, but it's a good thing to know. Okay, so he's got these tenutos here. What do you think that means?
A little bit longer, a little bit more sustenance
Okay.
in that.
Uh-huh. Do you think what kind of shape do you think these notes should be? Do you think about shape when you're piecing notes together?
Not as much as I should, but when looking at that, I would say the tenuto, I would not just start it in the same way that I started this, just blow. I would give it a little bit more prominence in that, and then I always saw a tenuto as presence.
Okay.
It's always like interpreted a tenuto. There's presence there. It's not just a note with the length of time. There's a presence and a back pressure.
Totally. I love it. So could we try this opening one more time? And maybe with the G sharp that has the tenuto, it could have this kind of shape. da, da. And it could be strong, like you're saying, more presence. I love that. And then maybe it could kind of come away, kind of like a ticking, like with the grandfather clock, up, and then it sort of releases. Could we try that?
Yes.
Good. Now we have another. So I'm totally running out of time, but I think that's really good. So think about the shape and what, he goes to the trouble to write all these very specific slurs and ties and tenutos. He gives us so much information. So you got to be like a little detective. Why did he do this? And like, what is he trying to, what shape is he trying to get? What character is he trying to get? Because it's all supposed to make the audience feel something, right? It's not just information to play loud, play soft. It's giving you information to create an atmosphere, a character, a connection with the audience. Now, the final thing, and then I promise I will stop, is the end of each one of these pieces is very funny and unexpected. So I think in the end of the second one, how long is that last note?
It's not that long. Not super long, but like long enough.
I agree. But Stravinsky's pretty specific.
Yeah.
He's a pretty meticulous guy. So he actually writes the last note to be 3/16.
Yes.
And for those of you who maybe aren't musicians, a quarter note, or just our regular sort of beat, has 4/16. So only to put 3 in is like a little bit fussy. It's like a little bit unexpected. It's a little bit not quite the full, you didn't get the full cookie. You got the cookie where something already fell off and you feel like you didn't. Anyway, can you play this end one more time? And I want you to literally count 3/16. Not longer, not less. Not longer, not less. Can we try that?
Yes.
1, 2, 3 off. Do you feel what kind of, I was just talking about making them feel something. Did you guys feel a little bit of like you're going on and then, it's like somebody took the cookie away from you and you're like, I wasn't done with that, And also, look, he's got that sombre le son again. So that's unexpected. And then just to wrap it all up, the very last thing in the third movement is also very unexpected. Could we switch and just, I'm sorry, make him go back and forth.
Just give me a second. My ligature decided it was going to jump right off.
They like to do that.
Especially this one.
Take your time, take your time. Any questions? Should I start telling stories? Anybody got a good story? That is such a good question. Why are you using 2 clarinets?
So another peculiarity about this is that the first 2 movements were written for A clarinet, which was used a longer time ago, and the final movement, third movement, was written for B flat clarinet, which is used in the modern day, like band and things.
Sure.
And it's just a little bit peculiar.
Do they have different characters?
Well, yes, they do.
How would you describe the character of the B flat versus the A clarinet?
But from my experience, I find that the B flat is a lot more like, if I can find a word, springy.
Springy.
It's like brighter and
maybe
stuff. And I haven't had too much experience with the A.
Okay.
I've had it for literally 2 weeks.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
my first time really playing
Really?
anything on A.
Then you're really nailing it.
Well, I tried it, and it was like completely unexpected because I've heard a lot of weird things about the A clarinet, and I actually found I enjoy the A a little bit better
Why?
because it seems to be the overtones and the notes come out a little bit easier around the registers and things like that, and it's a different kind of resonance.
How would you describe the different resonance?
Well, if you compare, I know I'm just going to country for time, but like the lower notes, if you compare like the low E, the lowest note on the instrument, there's like a different resonance. I find the A is a little bit more resonant, a little bit more rich, and I don't know if that's just because it's down a half step.
Totally.
But it's just
because it's
sound.
is it longer, shorter, the same?
I mean, here I'll use a visual. It's about like, I don't know, an inch,
It's longer.
inch and a quarter.
There's more wood on the A clarinet, so it gets a darker, sort of fuller, richer, deeper sound, right? And like the character of the first movement, it's like this old Russian man. You know, he's alone. There's a fire, sort of almost going out, lots of smoke, and you know, it's like 10 feet of snow outside, and he's sort of mumbling to himself. So you get the darker thing, and then by the time we get to the jazz-inspired movement, you know, we use the brighter clarinet. It's lots more springy. I like that. Yeah. So thank you so much for playing, and great to hear you on one of your first A clarinet experiences.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
an absolute pleasure to work with you.
Thank you. You too. Do lots of
I'll totally give that a shot. That seemed to work very well.
Yeah. Me too. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
What's your name?
Anthony.
Nice to meet you, Anthony. What are you playing for us today?
I'm playing Camille Saint-Saëns Clarinet Sonata.
That's a great song. I love it.
I should get my reed out of my mouth.
What do you love about this piece?
I like that it's lyrical in the opening and in the end.
Uh-huh. Anything else?
I really like the triplet notes in there.
Triplets, yeah. So I guess I'm wondering, you know, like, let's say you're trying to convince your friend to come to your concert,
Okay.
and you're like, listen, I'm playing the Saint-Saëns Sonata. What do you say next? It's so lyrical. You know, sell it.
Okay. It's very open and
Antonella?
huh?
Did I hear a voice? Romantic?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Very.
Full of love? Yeah. Tender? It's got lots of colors.
Yeah, it does.
How does it make you feel? What feeling do you get when you listen to this?
Sometimes I feel like
Well, how about this? How about I actually let you play,
okay.
and then let me know what you feel afterwards.
Okay.
How about that?
Sure.
Because we always want to think, you know, we're playing music not just to play loud notes, soft notes, and all of that, but to make people feel something. That's why they come to your concert.
Yeah.
So let's give it a shot.
Okay.
lovely, lovely. Okay, let's try a couple things. How about that? So you saw me do the breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Can we try, before we get back to the song, can we just try an F major scale? F major scale? Just pick up fingers. Can you try and take a deep breath like you saw us talk about? And do the and just play me a slurred F major scale up and down. Good. Can you add in another octave or two if you've got it?
I'm trying.
Good, good. So I want you to keep that kind of resonance and core to the sound, whether you're playing loudly or softly. Okay? So when this piece starts nice, beautifully softly, but I need you to be fortissimo here. Piano here, fortissimo here. Okay? So this needs to be working. Okay? So can we try the opening one more time? And I'm even going to throw in one more weird thing. Can you do this while standing on one foot?
I can try.
I'll catch you if anything happens. Well, no, just put your
I
foot
actually
down.
have really bad balance, just to let you know.
Well, then this is great. This is important. You don't have to do it until you start to play. So when she starts, you're fine. Okay.
Wait, when do I get on my foot?
What?
When do I get on my foot?
When you're playing.
Okay.
Beautiful. Do you hear any difference? Feel any difference? Or it feels
I
like
actually do, yeah.
What do you feel? What's different?
I feel like my sound is more like present and more like it sounds more clear.
Why do you think that is? Why am I having you do this?
I'm not sure. Actually, like
At
all.
Totally honest. What do you, let's
What do you
stand
do?
here and then just pay attention to what happens here when you pick up your leg.
It like goes in a little bit.
Yeah, these muscles here, the intercostal muscles, engage. That's what support is. So before you're blowing air like this, approximately. When you engage here, it goes from to. So I call this number one air. It's crazy, right? So, can you try just by yourself?
Yeah.
And try, and you can stand on 2 feet now, but see if you can engage this and use number 2 air. So again, fortissimo here, piano.
Okay.
Just by Yeah, keep going. There you go. Project out here. Send it out to your friends in the back. Gorgeous. Okay, that's good. Can we cement that into place? Don't let that change. Now, on top of that, can you try not breathing in every rest? So what I'm getting a little bit is da 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 da, all this breath, and I want this to feel like one big long line. Like when you're not playing, the music actually continues. So can we try it together from the beginning? So let's review. We're going to take a deep breath back here. We're going to engage here, and then we're holding during the rests. Okay?
Yeah.
3 things.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do it. Don't breathe, don't breathe. Keep counting. Now breathe. Keep going. That's great. Good. That's really good. So now you're making a much longer line. It's very, very beautiful. Okay. Now, have you ever played double lip? Do you know what that is?
I don't.
Okay. So normally when we play the clarinet, we put the bottom lip over the teeth and the top teeth on the mouthpiece. Double lip is totally crazy. We also wrap the top lip over the teeth. Can I see you do that? I guess I can demonstrate. So it's gonna feel weird, but roll your top lip over and just play an open G. Yes. Can we? Do you mind trying the opening last time? I promise. Together, but play it double lip.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Support, support. Number 2, air. Okay, good. So, what I'm trying to do is I see your lower lip a little bit. The word I use is collapsing. It kind of goes. I'm exaggerating, but kind of bunches up. And what that does is it presses the reed against the mouthpiece and kind of squeezes the sound. So, what I'm trying to do is get your chin to be a little bit flatter.
Okay.
And this could all be, you see how when I'm touching this, it's not really like squishy.
Mm-hmm.
See that's squishy and it moves, and I kind of hold it in place, and then it doesn't move.
Uh-huh.
I need you to do more of that. Your lip should be kind of like saran wrap.
Okay.
Like you put saran wrap on something, and it hugs it. It doesn't squeeze it, but it is secure. You know what I mean? So that's what I need your lips to do, to hug the teeth a little bit more.
Okay.
Let's skip to the next entrance here, just by yourself for once. And I want you to keep your chin pointed and a little bit more saran wrap.
Okay.
Here. Don't breathe, don't breathe. Okay, then we run out of air. Good. Does that feel any different?
Something felt different. I could feel my lips were like firmer or something.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little while to develop that strength. That's why, long tones are helpful for that. Is making sure you get a consistent, round, beautiful sound.
Mm-hmm.
Let's skip forward in this piece so we can hear a little bit more. Why don't we go to the second section? We don't have measure numbers, but it's going to be there.
Okay.
How about so she'll give you 2 measures.
Okay.
Send it.
going to be hand position a little bit. Can you take your clarinet and pretend that you're looking through a telescope? Now, do you feel what your wrists are doing right now? See if you can keep your wrists there, but bring the clarinet back down. Yeah, that looks better. So what happens, you're kind of going perpendicular, kind of like this. And what really works best with the clarinet, actually, is if you have a slight, I think that's a pronation of the wrist, where it kind of dips a little inwards. So instead of like this, it's a little bit like this. So in your left hand, it sort of should feel like you organize around the G sharp key, the side key here. So I'm almost always touching that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see how my fingers come down like this a little bit?
Yeah.
So that way, at any time, my hand can hit any of these keys or the throat tone keys without needing to move my wrist around.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the right hand. If you're going perpendicular, like this, then you have to reach up for the side keys. So if you're slightly angled in, you can hit these lower keys and the side keys without moving your wrist around.
Mm-hmm.
So that is step one for making this a little bit more comfortable.
Okay.
So could we try this slowly? Try and keep your hands in the telescope position. And let me just hear you go. About that fast, nice and comfy. Yeah, that's better. One more time. Good. Now, I think what's going to help you is blowing more air on the bottom. So right now I'm here. And I want you to do the opposite. You hear I'm crescendoing to the B flat there?
Mm-hmm.
Could you try that? Nice and slow, full air. And let's just try that arpeggio. Where's it? Okay. No, it's good. I'm glad you're doing it. This gives me an opportunity to talk about how do you practice that. So you're very close. You almost got it. How were you, if you're in your practice room, how would you work on that right now?
I usually try to use a metronome and do it slower, obviously, and then I try to either like break it down into smaller chunks, or like group the notes specifically.
Totally. So practicing is essentially simplifying at its core. And you want to simplify until you have success. And then you want to build on success. So the most common ways of simplifying in order to practice are slowing it down. He said slow it down. And also breaking it into smaller pieces. Chunks. He said both of those things. So that's very good. That's a good start. What are some other ways you can simplify something if you're practicing it? Not necessarily for this specific one, but just in general, practice techniques. Oh, I see a hand. Yeah, skeleton notes. So maybe just playing like the arpeggio notes and not the inner notes. Any other thoughts? Yeah. Okay, that's not. I'm looking for a simplification. Changing the rhythm. Yes, let's do that one. So, could we go? Da. We could go slower. Da 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 da. Sorry, I should sing it very sustained. Da 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 da. Good. Now, can you make it? Excuse me. Can you make it? Thank you. So that every note, I'm getting the 2-minute warning now, or the peace sign. I can't tell. Can we get every note to at least be the same level or louder? So no next note should be softer than the previous note.
Okay.
success. Your brain doesn't know if it was right or wrong, it just knows what it's done before. Good. Now even more air. Okay, now what's another rhythm we could do? Sure, let me hear it. That's good, but do you hear it in the middle? It goes from being solid, and then on this next one it goes. You hear the air change and it gets a little wobbly. And then you're good at the end? So that's the part you really need to focus on. Making sure it's just the same as the first 2 notes. Try it. No composing though. One more. That's fantastic. Now do it 2 more times in a row. That was 1, 2 more. 1 more. Awesome. Minimum 3 times in a row. Give me 1 more rhythm, then we'll move on. Or end, I guess. I'm probably out of 2 minutes.
I'm trying to think.
So first we did. Do you remember the first one?
Like da 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 da.
That's no, we just did that one.
Oh.
The first one was bom 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 bom.
Okay.
So now we can go ba da 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 da. Why don't you try that?
Okay.
Fantastic. How many more times?
2 more.
2 more. Fantastic. Benissimo. All right, who's next? Hi. Any questions at this point? Nope.
The one leg.
Yes.
Technique.
One leg.
I've played like that. I've played like that once or twice before, just
Yeah.
to experiment. Is that something that you discovered, or is that something that's like a known, or like a well-known?
I wish
practice?
I were smart enough to have discovered that. No, this is well known. The other thing you can do, I know a lot of you are music education majors, so this is really helpful for when you get into the band room, is have your kids, well there's no, I'm going to borrow my chair.
That's okay.
You can have your kids or yourself in your practice session raise your legs like this. They'll think it's hysterically funny. I mean, you probably will too.
Yeah.
But then it does the same thing. All of a sudden, this goes from a sound kind of like put some oomph, some beef in it. So that's a good one to know. Oh, right. Weber?
Yes.
Fantastic. It's not a clarinet masterclass until Weber's played.
That's
Let me get out of there. What do you love about Weber? About this movement?
this specific movement, I think it's really dramatic, and I'm also a classical singer, so I love drama and I love opera. So I really enjoy this. And
Okay.
me and Professor Di Matteo were talking about how he turns a lot of his harmonic shifts into melodies, which is cool. And I think that's
Does he now? Okay. Cool. Well, we've all come for the drama, so we're ready. That was so fun. It's fun to watch you play. You're having such a good time. I'm having a good time because you're having a good time. That's the way it should be. And it's important for us to remember this, because there's a lot of like, oh, this needs to be this way. Oh, that needs to be better. Oh, this needs to be in tune. And if it's hard not to get a little worn down by that. But you have the real joy and love, and that comes across. So never lose that.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Do you know what an ala palaka is?
I know it's like a dance.
Yes.
In 3.
Yes.
Like this sort of like off kilter-y feeling that we get.
Yes. Totally. You're right on. Now, there's a side effect to your enthusiasm.
Speeding up.
No. The side effect is that you're moving and grooving,
Oh.
which is a very good thing. But sometimes it gets in the way of your playing a little bit. So what you need to work on, we all have certain things that we sort of check in with for the rest of our lives, is balancing your movement, which is good, but making sure that it is always enhancing your performance and not throwing things off. So I'm wondering if we could try a little experiment. This is going to be not your favorite thing. Can you play the first 2 measures without moving? I am so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so
I
sorry.
trust you. It's good.
The other thing I want you to do is all slurred for right now. So just except more beautiful because I can't sing. But see if you can do that without your body. So I need you to put all that energy and excitement into your hair. Okay? Try it. Just by yourself. Good. And don't worry about the syncopations right now. And just try and make it really even. So you don't need to do any of that. So you're still going da ya dee ya ya. I'm still hearing dee ya. I'm exaggerating, but see if you could just go dee. Don't look at the music, in fact. Just dee ya ya. How about just those 4 notes? Without moving.
Hello?
That's my fault. Good. That's better. Can you do it with direction? So, dee-ah, go to that C. You're moving. All right, let me give you, okay, you're allowed to move, but I'm going to change the movement. Can you move just straight up? So like, dee-ah, yes. And can it be continuous? So at no moment does it stop and then start and stop and start. Just dee-ah. That's better. Now make it more obvious. The direction that is. Dee-ah, to here. We really want to here. Did you see da da and it wiggled? I want dee-ah. That's it. That's getting much closer. So it's simplifying the line. You got too many wobbles along the way. And so we lose track of the direction. So basically, we need to be able to do a lot of things independently of each other. So that means that your air needs to stay steady while your fingers move and your tongue is doing something different. And even while the support is steady, the shape of the air is changing. So all of those have to be independent. So we have to be able to go. So I'm shaping the air with the accents, but I'm also giving this line. Can you try what I just did? So you're doing a little more decay than I am. I want. Good, now play.
How's it?
How it's written. Wow! That was great. Now let's add in one other. I'm going to give you a different vowel. We were doing U. Let's give you another one that sometimes, if you're teaching, is easier for the little kids, so that you have a couple options. Can you say U-R-R? Yes, totally. See, that's much easier. Do you feel the back of your tongue go You get that ski slope? That's going to make the air much faster. So can you put your tongue in the position and play that one more time by yourself? Then we'll put it back together. Whoa. Well, hello. All right, let's add back in the pia. And yeah, just try and keep the tongue in the position and keep your air going forward. Okay? The first notes we worked on were glorious. Da da dee dum. It was resonant, it had direction, it was chef's kiss. Once you got to that downbeat, all of a sudden something changed, and I heard dee da, squee squee. So, can you keep what we did as you're going up? Can you try it just by yourself? Let's do it once all slurred. D-A-E-A. And can we do it the way where there's, we don't look at the music and it's just totally sustained? D-A-E-A. No accents, no shaping, nothing. You're shaping. Da-da. D-A-da-dum. Good, but I'm hearing da 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 da. No, I da 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 da. That's better. That's better. But I'm hearing. Before that, D-A-E-A-ba-da-da-ba-da-dum.
All slurred.
All slurred, no shaping, just steady. You're back to shaping, my friend. I'm exaggerating. Much better. So what that is doing is what your support needs to be doing. This can't be, or I don't think should be, doing lots of in and out. So this stays steady underneath, and then you're shaping the air up here into your da, 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 da. But if this goes too, it turns into da, 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 da. I mean, that's not what you did. But, so let's try it together and see if you can keep this going. Keep this steady, this air steady, the support steady, okay? about going a little faster? Can we go a little faster? And do you mind just a little bit shorter? Less 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Okay. I love his accent. I could listen to him read the phone book. And it would be great. 2 minutes. Okay. Ah! Yeah, keep that up. We're going to be done. Okay, let's hear you. Let's hear you. Okay, fantastic. So I like the slightly faster tempo. I think it's more exciting and perkier, and I think it's sounding like you've got a lot more direction and consistency in the sound. So let's talk about da 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 da. Oh no, it's great. It's great. So remember what we did with the telescope? That's going to help you a little bit. You want to try? Look through your telescope. Feel your wrists come up and in a little bit. That's going to help. Then the next thing that's going to help with this is imagining that there's a line straight down the center of your clarinet. There actually is, the series of tone holes. So you want to make sure that you keep your fingers in that line as you're going da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So you want to be careful that your hand doesn't want to go outside the line this way or that way. Once you start to get to the side of this line, it's not going to cover the tone hole. So can you just try and just imagine that you stay completely in line here. Okay, good. Can you say and try it a little slower? That's better. Do you know what a ventriloquist is?
Yeah.
Can you be a ventriloquist? That's where somebody, they have the little puppet and their mouth doesn't look like it's moving at all, but because I want this to move as little as possible. That's going to make it much more stable. So, one more time. Ventriloquist. Now we're onto something. Now, what's the rhythm though? Yeah. So can we actually go? Yeah, but you need your ventriloquism. There's too much moving. That's why you're getting the little chirps. Okay, now to finish up, because we're about out of time, I think we should do the very end. It's so much fun. There's not a better way to close a clarinet masterclass than to play the end of this. This is the first piece I ever played with orchestra, so it's like very fond place in my heart. Could we go from, how about 218 to the end? Do you have measure numbers? It's the echo. So, I'm going to let you play all the way to the end, but I want you to take a deep breath, keep your tongue in the position, and have fun.
Okay.
Okay? probably tired of hearing me talk, but if anybody has any questions. No questions.
I have questions.
All right, let's go.
Pertaining specifically to
I'm sorry.
Pertaining specifically to like
That's
I have
such
8 cats.
handsome.
Yes, that's Finnegan. He's the fan favorite.
Oh, there's the beauty of iPads. You're doing music, but there's a cat, a picture not far away.
It's true. If I get mad,
I can't imagine you mad though. Okay, so what are your questions?
No, I didn't do that. I had, okay, it's not gonna work, so we're gonna have a question specifically about, choppiness, because I find for me personally, like, you know, we do a lot of playing as music makers, you know that, but like, I can't last as long as like other players can in terms of chops. Like, I get tired playing like one piece. Like, when I played what Jack did last semester. By the time I was at the end, I was like,
The Stravinsky?
yeah, was like so tired. I was like, no matter what I do, I can't like build my stamina. So like, do you have any tips for building like chop stamina?
Interesting. Yeah. It's all the lights go. So there's not like a really straightforward answer. Do you do long tones? How long do you do long tones?
Like the first 5 minutes, chromatically starting from E up to high E, just 4 quarter notes, 60 BPM, rest for 4, just from low E to high E.
Okay. And do you do that in front of a mirror?
Yes.
Okay. You're doing the right things. For some people, it could be, you know, the equipment's too resistant. Doesn't sound like it's too resistant. I'd have to do a little experiment. Make sure your clarinet's seal. It's like you're a doctor and you need to do a differential. You kind of have to rule out certain things. So we need to make sure your clarinet's sealing and that that's not causing extra resistance and that, you know, the reed is vibrating properly. Besides that, what I would say is, and it's good that you're doing long tones, good, you're doing all the right things. So what you might do is in your practicing, practice with absolutely perfect form, but the second that you start to feel it go away, stop. And at the beginning, that could be maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes, I don't know you well enough. But even if it's really short, force yourself to stop and take a break. And then do it again with really good form. And just make sure that, because sometimes we play past the point where we can actually hold a good embouchure, and so playing with a bad embouchure tires everything out more than a proper embouchure would. So that could be potentially helpful, because sometimes we just feel like we got to get it done, and so all sorts of things happen and we just keep going, and that is super tiring and just destroys your embouchure. So that's probably my best recommendation once you rule out the first couple things I said, which are probably fine because you have a great teacher, but maybe try that.
I had 2 other questions, but they were in the
Uh-oh.
because it logged me out of my account.
Okay, I hate it when that
I
happens.
think it was something about articulation.
About what?
Articulation.
Oh, there was one about staccato. I had a question about staccato because I've been working on staccato since freshman year, and it's choppy. And I know most of the time it's the reed, like,
It's always the reed, right?
but
Yeah.
however comma, like it should be better.
Uh-huh.
And I like don't like I don't fully understand like the mechanism of what's supposed to be happening like orally.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Can you play me, let's just do like an F major scale, only 1 octave. Can you do it slurred? So slurred, long, then short. And let me see what happens. Okay, so I can already tell you, it's less a tongue thing and more an air thing.
Okay.
So it's kind of what we were talking about in the vapor. the air has to be solid and consistent first. If the air is coming and going unintentionally, then that sets up for chaos up here. Go ahead and do it one more time, and I'll listen to the actual tongue this time. But getting that air really consistent and solid is going to make a huge difference.
Do you have because I have a hard time like hearing whether I'm doing it well, like the air
Totally.
thing.
So
How should I?
what you need to do is pull out your device and turn it in airplane mode, and then record yourself. And record yourself like 5 notes.
Okay.
Don't record 10 minutes and then sit there and listen to 10 minutes of just 5 notes and listen back. And I bet it will be really clear to you when you're not also trying to play. And doing that back and forth is going to train your ears to do it in real time. You won't have to do that for the rest of your life.
Okay.
But for right now, because you just don't notice it right now. Go ahead, try it one more time. So I want to get to hearing what the tongue is doing. That seems pretty good. So what I would say, especially your long articulations, stay good. It seems like perhaps there's too much of your tongue touching the reed, and you kind of want to aim. I wish I had like a blackboard or something, but imagine your 2 front teeth behind them, where the teeth meet the gum line. That spot where it's like tooth, and gum. Imagine that your tongue is going up to touch that spot. It's going to hit the reed instead. And that's going to help get your tongue a little bit higher on the reed. Can you try that? Skip the slurred one and just do like 5 notes, long tongue and then short tongue. But aim for that spot up here. Yeah. So you've got the foundations there. Does that help at all?
That does definitely help. I never heard the tooth gum thing. It's very
Okay, yeah, that's the spot you want. But whenever we're dealing with articulation, we're really dealing with air first. So that's sort of the first piece of the puzzle, and making sure that stays solid. Yeah, that's probably the fastest version I can do. Yeah. You remember the third question, or are we done?
I don't know.
No, we're done. We're getting, okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be in the class.